What's going on? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Time Wars. Today we're doing our 4th episode, which is now stepping away from Dragon Ball and going into Dragon Ball Z territory, which is the first encounter of Raditz when he lands on Earth and comes across Piccolo. And in the small interaction we got between the two people fight, we saw that Piccolo tried his best, unsuccessful, and Raditz pretty much was like, "You're lucky, I'm leaving." So today I'm being joined by Adam as we kind of recreate this match using the promo Raditz and set 17 Yellow Piccolo. So let's kind of get into it.
Absolutely. How's it going, everyone? It's a Piccolo.
This is I knew going to this match this was going to be an interesting match, primarily because I don't think anyone at the shop besides me played set 17 Piccolo, and I remember that deck being very taxing on the hand already. In terms of like, in order to swing the leader, you need to see a Mnekian card. Sorry, not in order to swing, but in order to gain the leader's auto, you have to place a Mnekian underneath it to either on the unawakened side draw 1, search top 5, or on the awakened side draw 2. So you already have to pitch 1 card, so you have to hope you're constantly seeing Mnekians. And I remember like when I first tested this deck out, that was very problematic. Like there was a game where I saw none of my Mnekians. I'm like, okay, this is the problem. I need to fix it. So,
yeah, and this is, I mean, and with the added restriction of being, 75 to 80% archetype, can't add a lot of those extra cards that may help you draw a little bit more, like your baby or your golden apes and they're the raw apes. Sorry, I couldn't remember the freaking name of it.
Saiyan Instincts, yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem with that though is that takes 2 to draw, which I could have teched in maybe the Bardock apes because they're just 1 to draw 1, combo it off, or Z-charge it and expend it later to do something else. But a lot of this deck is very particular on the way it reads. It's either you evolve into a yellow card or a green card. You search for a yellow card or a green card. Like it's not universal Mnekians. It has to be one or the other. And a lot of times in order to go into a 3-drop from a skill, you need 1 energy. To go to a 4-drop with a skill, you need 2 open energy. So energy gets very taxing as well. So this combined with having a hand control aspect is very frustrating.
Yeah, and you had decided to go with a green and yellow build on yours. I'm going with green and red.
So yeah, that was. I primarily was searching for cards that were mainly Piccolo, Kami related. There is a few cards that kind of incorporate Nell, but I wanted to incorporate prior to Frieza as much as possible, or at least Namek as much as possible. And obviously, when I felt like I needed to venture out, I did. But because the 1-drops that go into 4s could play a green card, I'm like, okay. And there's 1-drops that you would play for 1 green energy, and then there's yellows you had to play for 1 green energy. I could have gone primarily yellow with green 4-drops just to play off skills and went a more yellow control route. But I wanted to kind of also give this deck a try, or at least go back into when it came out, because this deck was kind of a yellow-green deck, yet none of the cards that came with the set were ignore energy exhaust. So like there's that struggle where I have to make sure I charge the right amount of green cards or the right amount of yellow cards in order to do all my stuff.
Yeah, and with the Raditz deck, the stuff for Raditz is hand destruction, right? So, but with this format, I'm not running a whole lot of the extra stuff that helps with hand destruction. I'm not doing Dark Temptation Toas. I'm not doing I don't think I have any charismatic villains in there.
No, you do.
Either. Oh, well, but I didn't. I think I had those because they're Frieza, and technically Frieza is his boss, so it works. But I did not put the fused the Zomasu's in there for hand destruction. And also, it was a little bit unfair because there was a winter card that recently was released, which definitely helped kind of boost this archetype in the deck.
The red-green Raditz, or no, it's the 4-drop green Raditz I think you're talking about?
Yeah, 4-drop green Raditz, yeah.
Which I think we see on your turn too, which is very strong, where if it does damage, I have to pop a battle card and discard a card, I think, from my hand or something like that.
That's right, yep.
So
quite strong.
So the idea for my build, and keep in mind, I didn't touch base in the beginning, but the restrictions we have, like Adam said, as much as possible to the theme of the deck or the theme of the event if you can, because sometimes some leaders require certain archetypes that just obviously don't show up in that particular segment of the fight or have any valid reason to be part of that. So we want the decks to work as much as possible, and also no secret rare.
Yeah. Yep. Now you could have. I mean, I guess you could have maybe gone like a Goku Piccolo, like maybe a red green, because I know that there was some. I don't know how restrictive a lot of those red cards are that just came out with Piccolo and Goku on them, but you were just trying to stick with the Namekians, right?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, some of those require red leader, and the next fight we do in this series will not be Raditz versus Goku Piccolo, because on the first wave of this, we're trying to showcase as many leaders as possible, and we don't want to overlap leaders. When we go back over the timeline again to fill in spaces, we'll probably do a Raditz versus the Power Pole deck, because it does incorporate Goku and Vegeta in the idea of taking Gohan, even though that deck was for the Girl Junior saga.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of freedom. We'll kind of see how people like the series as well, and if it's something that we're seeing people are enjoying, we'll keep doing it. We've got a lot of we're not even gonna. I don't think we're gonna even touch into GT this time around.
No,
but we will have some some fantasy type of matches, and one of the things that I loved to do as a kid was just say, hey, who would win in a fight, lion versus a bear, or that kind of stuff. And so we're doing that a little bit here toward the end of the series, where we're just kind of putting up some fantasy matches of what would happen if Broly from DBS was against Broly from Dragon Ball Z, right? Stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So something to look forward to. But we got to see those likes. You got to get those likes on the video so we know we're enjoying it.
This is one of those moments I mentioned. I have to choose order of doing things. I wanted to play Guru, but then I realized, then I won't have a yellow energy opened up. Okay. We awaken. I can't awaken yet because I need this to go on their effect. And so I go ahead and proc this the card in the skill, which you can, when I awaken, I can use card underneath my leader for its effect, but instead I choose a card from my hand, which I did use the Kami, which will boost this Piccolo's power by 1,000, making it a 20k. And when this card is played, plays and attacks, and it's not once per turn auto, it will pop a card in rest mode.
Yeah, and it seemed like you were kind of going into your deck and saying, oh, no, I can't get that one because of the yellow restriction or the green restriction. Yeah.
So here, going in swing, get as much search as possible, and then I'm going to awaken, which restands the energy. And there I'm just telling you about the Kami I put underneath it. And then from this point on, I could play Guru. And I chose to go Guru over Dende, mainly because I did not like Dende at all when I first played. Yes, now Dende is not a turn 1 or turn 2 play. Dende is like a turn 3, turn 4 play. But it's not a very strong card. It's a 1,000 unison that I think is one to play, so it doesn't have a lot of markers to begin with on it, and it's so easily dealt with. It just didn't feel like it was worth my time. So Guru instead, for 2 yellow energy, I could play it with 7 markers on it. And then -2, search top 3 cards in my deck to play a 1-drop. I play I think 12 to 14 1-drops in this deck. So hopefully I would always see one when I can.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy, trying to have a bunch of 1 costs that are helping you get the pieces that you need. Tutoring is always good in any card game, so.
It may have been smart to play Guru first and then assimilate afterwards, because I just took a card out of my deck that could have been important.
Yeah, and assimilate only searches yellow, is that right? Or is it yellow or green?
Sorry, say again?
Assimilate only
yellow.
Searches yellow?
Only searches for yellow. Mm-hmm. Why is your card not have... because of my negate. So to set 12 Piccolo that start my turn, I send it to the drop, and I get to negate one of your cards as skills. So I'm able to stop one of your blockers, but the other one still has blocker, and I'm just waiting for you to proc it, and you just don't.
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to, right? I mean, I wanted to see if I could keep him on there for a little while longer.
Yeah.
And also, one of the reasons that I didn't want to do that is because my field card, when one of my Vegetas dies, I can play a Great Ape on top of it or in place of it. But the other thing is if that card gets removed by a skill, then I can play that 4-drop. So I didn't necessarily want to lose those blockers in battle. I would have rather you spent your resources to try to get rid of them and then play those bigger ones out, because then that Great Ape would come out untapped.
Yeah. And you're choosing your attacks and your effects, obviously, in the correct order. Like, you're using Nappa's ability to make me lose a card, and then you're swinging with the leader to make me lose another card, and now your leader has crit. And I'm not going to gain, like, if I take this hit, I'm not going to take any advantage. So I use the leader's ability to just get additional 5k for the battle. And from here on out, I think you will swing this Raditz at my leader, because it's just the advantage it gains from dealing a damage is really good.
Yeah.
But any additional pressure, I think this turn, you primarily just focus onto my battle card instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it's at 21.
20,
is that right? 20. Okay, yeah. So there's my 20k unison.
And I just activate Nimbus without activating the effect, because I know you're not going to swing any of those the little guys there.
Yeah, that was smart.
The problem, though, at this point...
Don't want to lose any cards.
And the problem at this point now is that I'm running low on cards in my hand, because I'm not gaining anything from these attacks anymore, and now I'm actually losing out on stuff. And I have to be careful what I discard or what I'm negating with, because I need mechanics in my hand in order to even get a draw to my leader.
And one of the nice things about this series that it does feel a little bit like the anime here, that one side is really kind of powerful and the other one's like, oh, how am I gonna be able to hold up and fend off this big enemy. And it kind of felt that with the amount of searching that you did, I really felt like the warping of cards was pretty strong in the Raditz deck against this particular Piccolo deck.
Yes. I feel like this was a very uphill battle for me, at least.
But you love that. That's why you play AOD, right? I mean...
Sure.
You like playing the uphill battle. But yeah, so, and I've got three blockers now on the field, hoping to maybe get some more attackers, because these guys are just there to try to trick you into getting rid of them so I can get the bigger ape out.
And here I'm just trying to see who you choose to block with. Now, I can't remember. I know it costs energy to play from your hand. Does the field card do it for free?
No, the field card is just one colorless energy to be able to put a Great Ape card with the same character name in rest mode. So if I had a Raditz out there, I'd be able to put a Raditz card, but it would have to be in rest mode. The effect on the actual 4-drop Vegeta Great Ape is 1 green, and he gets to get played out in active mode.
Gotcha. Here, I'm really just playing the 1-drops to get X cards added to my hand, either for more or less kind of like evolving, not really evolving, but using the autos on, or the, sorry, it is Unizorb, using Unizorb to play the 3 or 4 drops on top of the 1-drops, or just have extra cards in my hand for combo purposes. And it is unfortunate, a lot of these cards that a lot of these yellow-green Piccolos are 1 combo 10Ks, but if I put them underneath the leader, they're a free 5K boost for the battle, but it's only once per turn, like I mentioned earlier. So if I have to tap out, I still have them as a one-time combo use per turn.
So here you've got a couple of cards in your hand.
Yeah, and here you're not swinging at my life. You're choosing once again to swing at the Piccolo, so I wouldn't get any additional hand support to my hand.
Your deck is looking a little thin, isn't it? I mean, you've gotten quite a few cards out, and albeit a lot of them are in the warp, but
I've done a lot of pulling. But the problem is that I may have gained 3 cards last turn, but then you turn around and without even having to really do much, have removed 2 of those cards before I can even start to respond to stuff.
Yeah.
So here I choose not to charge, which I feel like kind of bites me in the ass a little bit because there's something I wanted to play at one point, but I can't play it. And I'll go over it when I get to that point. But here you did play, you did block, you played in rest mode, so I'm able to swing here and just immediately pop it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really just trying to apply pressure where I can. Constantly thin the deck out so I can get better cards in my hand. Or at least just more cards in my hand to do other things with. And there, I try to pull the green card, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot it has to be yellow. Gotta pull a yellow card for Assimilate. So I pull the set 12 negate.
Assimilate is yellow or green?
I thought it's just yellow. Did I misread it?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge.
That's right, yeah, because it was people would pull the green red one. That's right. I guess I just misread it that time. So here, play this, pop your guy, you play the blocker afterwards because it was with skills, so it's in active mode. And really just trying to clean out what I can, do what damage I can before just finally just saying, end it, please. You're hitting my hand and then choosing the battle cards as your attacks, so you at least the ones that aren't crit, so I can't gain any advantage off it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm down to 1 card. You're swinging. I'm just like taking it.
Yeah, and I think that there's an effect. So here I play the 1 drop that gets me 4 cards into my hand, which is nice late game when I can make it that far. And then we decide that wasn't enough, so we're going to go ahead and try to pull some more. It's not limit, not once per turn. So I just trying to, you're a really good player, so I tend to be a little bit more timid when I play against you. And I think that, as per usual, I didn't read my opponent's leader, so I thought that the 5 cost under, or the 5K combo under your leader was however many cards you had under there, kind of like the Broly leader, but it's only once per turn.
So I think what I have in my hand is the Piccolo. It's the 4-drop green Piccolo from like set 4, I think, or something like that. But it's like Piccolo Kami something. But it takes 2 green to play, and I only have 1 green on board. And typically, it's just a target for me to evolve in from my deck, hopefully, instead of from my hand, because that is the benefit of the 1-drops, that it does say from hand or from deck. So you can always kind of like, if you get lucky, keep it on the board, tap 2, play the card from your deck so you're not playing it from your hand, and then use a card of your leader for the Union Absorb effect so you're not also bringing another card from your field or your hand to do that either. But it's just so hard to pull that off, like, naturally in the game. And that's why I try to play the Unison, just to kind of like, if I get a 1-drop, hopefully I can play this common in my hand. I could use it to pop your 8 on the board and apply pressure. 1 more like swing at you. But I didn't get lucky on that one.
Yeah, and at the beginning of this main phase, I get rid of 4 non-black cards from your warp, put them in your drop, and I get triple attack. So now I have critical triple attack, 15k.
Here, I just start taking it. Like, there's nothing I can do now. I've already activated the leader's ability once. And you swing with a handful of cards. And I can't remember if this card is double strike or dual attack. Let's see if I take it at first. Okay, yeah, I take it. But when you swing here, I think you combo like 1 or 2 cards and you kind of just pause for a second. See what happens. Oh yeah, dual attack restands. We're still in the battle here because you went to go play the Vegeta real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I have a card in my hand, it's like 1 card. If I don't have a card, then it's no cards. Yeah, okay, I still got 1 card in my hand. But yeah, you swing and you're like, I'll leave it at this. I'm like, dude, just combo out. You're like, you're once per turn auto.
Kill me.
You have that auto, right? I'm like, no, it's once per turn, man. Just finish me off. So you did. Much like the show, this match was definitely felt one-sided. I guess how Piccolo felt when Raditz was unfazed by his attack, except for his arm hairs were singed off. Sure. Well, that being said, thank you for your opportunity. Keep on those buttons, links, check them out. And for our next match,